Hey, in today's chapter is notably lighter and shorter than usual, so I'll keep this concise. Let's dive straight in. The cover features Brook getting electrocuted by jellyfish that have eyes like emu. It's just a fan request that Oda drew, so it isn't story significant. Picking up from last chapter's Brook flashback, we see Princess of Isperia, aka Shuri, who is Gunko herself now at 14 years old. Everyone is captivated by her beauty, and 5 princes from neighboring kingdoms arrive to propose marriage. She defeats every single one of them and declares, "I will never marry someone weaker than me or someone who can't play music." Everyone is baffled by the music condition, but it's clearly a hint toward Brook. Brook and Gunko walking together. Brook tells her he heard she defeated all the princes, and she proudly confirms it, adding that she's also cute, saying a few things to Brook that are too bold to repeat. She then bluntly proposes to Brook, to which he responds, "Don't behave so improperly. Show some dignity," and then immediately sprints after 2 women passing by and asks to see their underwear. Gunko hurls a sword at his head. Classic Brook. At this point in the flashback, Gunko is 14 and Brook is 27. Brook and Gunko sit together and he begins to sing. The song goes roughly, "Cattle, frogs, slaves, and kings, when they die, they all become bones. We are all bones." Gunko is moved and tells him she loves his songs deeply, clearly because she has feelings for him. Brook deflects, saying her father told him the same thing. She then asks Brook sincerely, "You love my father, don't you? And my mother too?" Brook says yes, because without her father, the king, he would have died and become nothing but bones long ago. Flashback within. A flashback Brook at age 11. We go even deeper into the past. Young Brook is poor, peering through the gates of a music school, watching children play instruments with longing. Because he can't afford tuition, he's forced to watch from outside. A man spots him and screams at him, chasing him away with a stick, calling him filthy, and saying he frightens the children with his appearance. Brook retreats to a garbage dump and builds his own instrument from trash, then begins to sing a heartbreaking song about his family being too poor to eat while he scrounges for food on the streets. His singing is so bad that not a single person stops to listen. Only a stray dog gives him any attention. Suddenly, a young man appears the prince, though Brook doesn't know it yet. He mocks Brook's terrible song and his homemade instrument, but in a playful way. They start laughing together, and a genuine friendship sparks. Brook insists on treating the prince to the best meal he can offer. Frogs cooked with stolen Navy curry powder, which he secretly swipes from the Marines to make the dish taste decent. When the prince watches Brook eat, he tears up, seeing the stark contrast between Brook's desperate poverty and the privileged world he himself has always known. Brook, oblivious, jokes, "You're crying because my cooking is so good, right?" The prince replies, "I'm tired and happy at the same time." The frog tastes awful, of course. The prince tries to give Brook money. Brook refuses, saying they're both just getting by. They share drinks, eat octopus, sing together, and life feels beautiful. One day, the Marines receive a tip that someone has been stealing their curry powder and supplying a criminal gang. The informant points to Brook. The Marines seize Brook and torture him, demanding to know where he hid the contraband and which gang he's working with. No matter how much they beat him, Brook maintains his innocence and eventually reveals what he was actually hiding: curry powder. Just curry powder. The Marines are furious at having wasted their money on the tip. Brook, in agony, sings to himself to endure the pain and distract from the fear of death. The soldiers conclude, "He's seen our faces. He has to die." Brook weeps, certain this is the end, and then the door bursts open. The prince charges in, calling Brook's name. Brook is overjoyed, crying out, "Brother!" The Marines are stunned to realize this is Prince Luffin himself. Beside him stands Candle, at this point still unmarried, serving as the commander of his personal guard, always by his side. It's also revealed that the real thief had already been caught by the prince before he came to rescue Brook. He confronts the Marines. If the world government protects people like you, then that's the end of everything. He gives Candle the order. She announces, "I am your sword, and I am always with you." Together they obliterate the Marines. Brook watches Candel's swordsmanship in awe and falls in love with her on the spot. Brook is brought to the palace to recover, and the prince reveals he is royalty. Brook is shocked. The prince explains he never wanted to lie, but their time together was too precious to ruin with titles. Candle teases the prince. "So all those times you disappeared, you were sneaking off to play with this adorable little Brook?" She leans close and examines Brook's face. The intensity of it gives Brook a nosebleed. His heart is absolutely gone. The king then officially appoints Brook as his personal royal musician, gives him his own room in the palace, enrolls him in music school, and declares, "This is my favorite musician. He will become a star one day. I love this boy, and he will live here with us." Brook breaks down crying. The chapter ends here, and next week is a break. But here's something that likely flew under the radar. Do you remember how Mihawk's introduction in the manga used a completely unique art style for his lettering? A sword-like font for the word Dracul that Oda had never used for any other character? In this chapter, Oda uses that exact same style for the second time in One Piece history, and he uses it to introduce Candle. Think about what that connection could mean. We already know Im is male, and that Gunko was Im's ally. My reading of this is, Im and Gunko married, and their descendant is Mihawk. That would explain why Mihawk has Im's distinctive eyes, and why he became one of the world's greatest swordsmen, since both Candle and Prince Luffy are exceptional sword fighters. A year ago I would have laughed this theory off entirely, but now that we know Im is male and rarely leaves his chamber, this connection between Candle and Mihawk might be the only interpretation that makes sense. I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts on this. Why is this chapter short? Oda recently traveled to South Africa to watch the filming of the live-action Season 3, even drawing a sketch of Luffy on the beach there. He's been enjoying himself, which explains both the shorter chapter and the upcoming break. The live-action production has noticeably affected the manga's pacing for a while now. Whenever Oda gets pulled into that world, the manga chapters tend to be lighter or rely on flashbacks rather than heavy action sequences. Hopefully he wraps things up soon and we get back to full throttle. That's everything for this chapter. Hope you enjoyed it.